What's up, guys? You know who it is, your boy JS7, and we back for another episode of the Inside Line, round 11, the final one of the Pro Motocross season. Clinton, last weekend we saw the return of the dominance of Jet Lawrence. Oh, by the way, I'm happy to be joined with my co-host, Mr. Clinton Fowler. What's up, Clinton? Now,
How's it
let's
going,
get back
James?
to week 10. Let's get back to week 10. Let's just get into it. Tell the people what they got.
Yeah, I mean, Jet Lawrence delivered. He got that title number 2 in Pro Motocross. He was the favorite. They had him at a minus 179, would have paid out $31. Jet Lawrence does it again. He's 8 for 10 this year. Pretty amazing. On the podiums, James, Jet Lawrence, a favorite, 261, paid out just over $27. Hunter Lawrence's brother, also a favorite, minus 577, would have paid out about $23. And Eli Tomac, a plus 133, paid out $46. They didn't have him as a favorite, but he delivered at what would be his worst venue. So not a bad day for Eli, James.
Yeah, it was a good day for Eli, especially how it started off. Wasn't that good, but they made some changes, and Eli did what Eli does. When he comes to race, really. He's that good. So I figured Jet Lawrence is going to do what Jet Lawrence did. Mom said, knock you out, and he knocked everybody out, even though Hunter was there. But going to this weekend, you got to expect a little bit of the same thing with Jet. No pressure, championship wrapped up. Budds Creek, he's obviously had some success here. He's had success everywhere, but here as well. The track is one of those races that a start is going to help you. We know how good the Hondas are. Both our brothers are on the start. So I expect a lot more from Jet Lawrence going in this weekend. I suspect there's going to be a couple other guys, which we'll get in a moment, that have a lot to race for. Mookie Fever and even Hunter Lawrence. But yeah, Budds Creek is one of a kind, is one of the favorite ones, and it's the last Pro Motocross of the season. So expect more of dominance by the number 18.
Yeah, James. You look at the odds this week, and no surprise, for the 11th week out of 11 weeks, Jet Lawrence is the favorite with a minus 278, going to pay out $27. Hunter Lawrence plus 252, $70 payout. Eli Tomac a plus 760, $172 payout. Justin Cooper plus 1800, nearly $400 payout. And RJ Hampshire plus 2,345, paying out nearly $500, a 480.89. Dude, James, to your point, we're headed to Budds Creek. It's a last round. Jet Lawrence already wrapped up the title. He's got no pressure. This should just be a show of dominance, right?
Yeah, I think so. But that being said, Hunter Lawrence rode really good last weekend. I mean, especially that second motor, he was there, and it's probably puts him in an awkward spot. Maybe a little bit less pressure now that Jet has his championship wrapped up. And on the playoff seedings, Hunter could possibly get up to third, so that'd be a huge improvement for him. So I I think he might have a really good shot at winning this weekend. I don't suspect it, but last weekend he rode good, and the weekend before as well. So I suspect Hunter Lawrence would be the probably biggest threat to Jet Lawrence going in this weekend. And as you mentioned, with Chase Sexton going out, Jet Lawrence feeling the way he feels, no pressure. You got to think the 18 is going to want to come out and show out again one more time before they move into that 3-race playoffs.
Dude, James, how about this stat? Jet Lawrence has swept the motos in 18 of his 26 starts. Like, that's a pretty good record to go 1-1 for first overall in 18 of 26 starts.
Yeah, that pretty much means that if he wins the first moto, most likely he's going to win the second moto as well. But again, there's other guys, but there's guys, and then there's Jet. And I would say, as good as Jet has been, Hunter Lawrence has been equally as impressive to me. He's just a little step behind him, but right there. I mean, he's got everybody else covered. But yeah, 18 out of 26. Yeah, 1-1. Pretty damn good to me.
It's impressive. Hey, let's talk the podiums, because you hit on the point about the SuperMotocross seeding standings for the World Championship Finals, which is pretty critical. Podium odds, they've got the favorites is Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, and Eli Tomac. Jet's at a minus 2,400, paying out just about 21, the money market bet. Hunter Lawrence a minus 500 at 23 bucks, paying out. Eli Tomac minus 106, paying out 36. And then they've got RJ Hampshire plus 165, paying out just under 47 bucks. Justin Cooper plus 221, paying out $64. And Dylan Ferrandis a plus 451, paying out 117. Hunter Lawrence is in a really interesting position right here, James, and frankly, just the standings as a whole. So let's see if I can't give the summary here. But you basically have four guys: Cooper Webb, Chase Sexton, your brother Malcolm Stewart, and Hunter Lawrence that are 3, 4, 5, 6. There's just enough points separated where if Hunter can get on the podium, but he's got to get on the podium with a first and a second or a second and a first to get the overall, he could pass up to third. And your brother has the opportunity as well. So Hunter's got some motivation to want to get those extra points because there's a lot of money for these guys on the line come the World Championship Finals. What do you think, James? Can Hunter go and pull a 1-2 or a 2-1 like he did back at Spring Creek?
Yeah, absolutely can. I mean, again, I think last weekend was kind of telling of where his motivation is. I mean, he was all over his brother that second moto, and when you think about, he's got to be somewhat in an awkward position. Like, he wants to beat him, but then he doesn't want to mess anything up for possibly ruin the championship. But if he did mess him up, Hunter would win the championship. It's an awkward spot. Well, that's gone. And I do believe Hunter, although he's got his first overall win last weekend or a couple weekends ago at Millville or Ironman, excuse me, he wants to get one of these ones where he can win, 1-1, 1-2. And so I do believe he gets a start. He might have an opportunity to actually get a win. Same thing for the podium. Podium, he's getting to the money market, kind of like Jet, like you just expect him to do it. But yeah, Hunter does have a real opportunity. And then even I like RJ as well. RJ, this is one of his best venues. He's had a couple wins in the 250 class. So you're looking at him. And even Justin Cooper. Why not show that practice speed that he did last weekend? Why not bring that into the last possible opportunity, the motocross, get a podium? I can see Justin Cooper sliding up there as well. So Eli Tomac, that podium is going to be a real fight between those three. And even Malcolm Stewart. Malcolm has a opportunity, like you said, to possibly get up in that third position for the playoffs. And considering that him and Justin Cooper are the only two riders that's basically raced every single race, really impressive. Why not finish it off? And this is one of Malcolm's best venues as well. So podium, it's going to be good. RJ, Justin Cooper, and Hunter Lawrence, and Eli Tomac, I suspect those guys will be fighting for second through fifth. I believe Jet Lawrence is still going to win.
Yeah, James, I think the RJ Hampshire one there is an interesting call out. I noticed last week, I think the answer is don't be lulled by RJ. Last week, he lost a couple of positions in each moto, which is the first time that had happened since the first round of the season. I don't think people want to be lulled into that because, to your point, at Buds in the 250 class, he had 2 of his 4 career overall wins. So Buds has clearly gotten something special for RJ. I bet you he comes out swinging along with Hunter Lawrence. Yeah. So let's talk head to head. They've got 3 head-to-head battles for us this week, James. Eli Tomac versus Hunter Lawrence. The favorite, Hunter, minus 200, paying out $30. Eli Tomac, a plus 148, paying out just under $50. They got the next 2 we've had for many weeks here. Justin Cooper versus RJ Hampshire. They're kind of playing some games with us here. They got kind of both of them as the favorites, a minus 110 for RJ, paying out $38, and a minus 120 for Justin Cooper, paying out $36. And then, James, here we are again with the Jorge Prado versus Justin Barcia, and we might have had some struggles last week, buddy. They're playing with us here too. They kind of got both these guys as a favorite, a minus 110 for Jorge, paying out 38, and a minus 120 for Barcia, paying out 36. All interesting head-to-heads. A lot to talk about on this one, James. What do you got?
Well, yeah, let's just talk about specifically, I guess Hunter Lawrence versus Eli Tomac. You got to lean towards Hunter Lawrence. And then RJ versus Justin Cooper. Justin showed some signs last weekend. He got his speed back. I guess that is one of his favorite tracks. Again, there's motivation in a different level, just getting on the podium. But he's got that number 1 seed locked up. RJ, last weekend he led a moto. So, although he went 4-4, I do feel like, yeah, as you said, results don't show how good he really rode. And so this weekend he should be pretty good. So those two, I'll lean towards RJ just because they're maybe a little bit more motivation than him. And then look, I'm going barefoot this weekend. I'm not. I don't want no Prado shoes. Maybe that's what it is. He's selling Prado shoes, not Prada shoes, because last weekend it was a struggle. It really was. Um, I'll just leave it at that. And he knows what it is. I feel bad for him because I know how tough it is to be in that position. I feel bad for the team. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all trying until they're not trying anymore. Whatever the reason is, I'm going with Barsha. If you don't think Barsha likes and he's competing, just go back. You can ask Dylan Ferrandis what Justin does here at this racetrack. You're going to come back to the scene where he really had a bad relapse. So Justin Barsha, I saw him on the airplane. It was early in the morning. Pretty baby. Had a nice little baby up there. I'm going with Justin Barsha here over Jorge Prada for sure. And yeah, I'm going barefoot this weekend. Can't mess with those shoes.
James, you did a good job sidestepping your choice of Mr. Prado last week, and then he goes 15-12 for 12. Hey, I gotta ask the interesting comparison point here, but let's talk about Jorge Prado has not had really even contended for a podium this year. His finishes 6th, 9th, 13th, 17th, 5th, 6th, 9th, 14th, 5th, 12th. We'll see what he finishes off with, but we haven't seen him where we thought we were. And James, this last weekend on the other side of the pond, Roman Fabra goes 1-1 for first on what is got to be maybe one of the closest things to it is another green machine. It's just been a tough go for Jorge here, James.
No, it has, and there's really no way to go around it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bash Jorge because, I mean, truthfully, I've been somewhat in a similar situation. I just know how hard it is. There's a lot of expectations from a lot of people, and the biggest one came from Jorge Prada. So they come here, I could see it happening after the first race, then that second race. I think I even said it on record. I'm like, man, if he doesn't have a performance here at Thunder Valley, I could see the season going downhill. Not because he's not trying, but because when you're a winner, you want to win. And what's the difference between a fifth place and 15th? And I know it's hard for people to understand that, but that's just reality. Jorge wants to win. Now, going out there and the way he's been riding, I don't talk to Jorge, so I don't know directly what is going on. Maybe there's an illness or something else that we don't see. But from what it looks like, the guy, if he's not able to compete, he doesn't really want to be out there. And I'm going to be the last person to sit there and say that's the wrong way to go. So hopefully he can have a reset, maybe these playoffs to help him out, because he's got to have a lot of change that's going to happen if he's going to be around for next year. Because I don't see this trend continue. I see him either not being here or fighting for wins next year. That's just a fact. So we'll find out. But again, I'm going barefoot this weekend. I can't mess with those shoes. Sorry.
I think that's what it was. You've been saying Prada, and it's Prado. People had to let us know. Anyhow. All right, James, we got one last. We got to pick our own head-to-head. We are tied. 4 and 5 for you. I took the easy route last week and brought it up to a 4 and 5 for me. Who are you going with? What do you got for the last round?
Yeah, look, we can't go with Lawrence's. We're not going with anybody on the podium. We got to go back a little bit back. I'm going to go with Malcolm, right? And not for Malcolm to beat somebody, but I'm going to go on the limb and say Malcolm's going to finish third in the playoff standings. That's my pick. I believe Butts Creek is a good venue. Got to be proud of baby brother to finish all these races. I know how good he is here at Butts Creek because he took me out back in the day. He did. It was really brother on
brother crime.
Say he didn't see me. I'm like, bro, I'm the only one on the Suzuki. Like, come on, literally, I've been yelling at you for 7 laps. So I'm going with Malcolm to finish third in that playoffs. Who do you got?
I love that pick. His absolute best has been at Budds Creek twice. He has scored 33 points, was what he needs to be third twice. And I'm going, okay, so I love where you went. I'm going to take a similar thing. It has nothing to do with all these. I'm going to go Cody Schock, who is going to get himself into the top 20 for the 450 cutoff for the playoffs. That means he's going to have to score, I think it's 23 points for him. He's going to have a season best day. He's going to need to be like 10th, 11th. He's done it a couple times or close to it a couple times this year, but I think it'll be interesting to see if he could oust Justin Hill, who's been idle, who's at 18th right now. So I'm going to go with Cody Schock getting himself into the top 20. I like that up against baby brother Stewart getting into the third seed. There we go,
Yeah,
James.
I like it. I wouldn't be shocked if Cody shocks the world. What he needs to do is do a little Hayden Deegan. What Hayden did to him last year in that podium, like that last corner for 7th. Cody, throw a little boat because I know they'll be shocked if that happens. Cody, get it done. So I got Malcolm, you got Shock. All right, people. Well, you know what it is. You guys know what everything. Look, things change. Just like we had Chase Sexton go out last weekend, but look, it's been a great year. Let's finish this thing off strong, and we'll see you next weekend, or no, 2 weekends for the playoffs. Shock the world, Clinton. I got the fever. See you next week, people.